Yo, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a video on the macros. So let's just get started. Just want to say thank you, everybody that's watching. Let's just get into the video. So let's get started with the macros. So what I look for when it comes to the macros is two things. And I'm going to put a checklist up here. One is liquidity. Also, number two is busy/city. What are two things that I look for? These are also one more thing. Number three. This is for my future traders and 20 points. Regardless if it's a macro, this is kind of like a criteria that I look for. So macros, they're not really large runs from what I've seen, but it's usually a spool on liquidity. So like for an example, let's say we come here, right? Then we have a shift, come up, right? And let's say that there's a high or an inefficiency up here. Between this right here, you can maybe get a continuation macro that takes you into your draw, right? So those are one things. That's a one example that I look for, and also to the other side. Let's get this out of the way. Let's say if we have a draw down here, vice versa, we see it run up, maybe create a breaker here, right? And you can also see this as well. Here, come down a little bit, chop up a little bit, maybe see a SIBI, take you there into the draw. Right? And as we go along, we're probably going to see a lot of examples and a lot of areas of liquidity, a lot of inefficiencies, and also they also give a good amount of like 20 points. So let's get into it. So for the first example, we have the 950 to 1010 macro. I'm using the previous day high as our example all the way to the left. And as we can see, we have a busy. And obviously order flow, down close candles supporting each other, signifying bullish order flow. And that leads to us going to our checklist. One, do we have liquidity? That's one check. Right here, previous day high. Do we have an inefficiency, a busy or a SIBI, which is right here inside the macro, right? We're going to label this as busy. And also, do we offer 20 points? So from this busy, seems like we get a great deal of 48 points. And also, you can buy here, stop loss here, and let it rip. So let's move on to the next example. The 1050 to 1110 macro. We can see we came down, left relatively equal highs as we're coming down, purged this low, came back up, created an order block, and also a busy. So let's go through our checklist. Do we have liquidity, relative equal highs, engineered liquidity? Do we have a fair value gap or a busy or a SIBI? Yes, we do, which is classified right here as a busy. And also, do we get 20 points? And let's see. From the top of the fair value gap to the highs, offices 13, take half off there, full terminus 20 points. And also buying this up, you can put your stop here and letting it run to your TP. Now let's move on to the next one. And also moving on to the 1150 to 1210 macro, we can see that we came down, sort of created a breaker. As we approach the macro, we created a redelivered rebalance, and also coming down, come back up, and we come straight down, leaving all of this in inefficiency. So let's go through our checklist and see if it matches our criteria. So one, do we have liquidity? Yes, we do. Low hanging fruit. Do we have a busy or a SIBI? Yes, we do. We have one right here, classified as a SIBI. Also, does the SIBI give us 20 points to our terminus? A little choppy in the macro, gives us 20 points. in full terminus about almost 30 points. I could stretch it out to 30 points. So now we have the 950 to 1010 macro, and let's go through our criteria and see if it fits everything that we need to possibly get into this trade. So 1, do we have liquidity? Yes, we do. We have the low-hanging fruit, right? Number 2, we have a BISI or a CIBI or a fair value gap? Yes, we do. And right here, classified as a BISI, and also does it offer 20 points? Let's see. Yes, it does. Offers us 20 points all the way to the low-hanging fruit at the equal highs. And also, if we take it to full terminus, we can see it tags it all the way for 28 points. So as we can see through all the examples, we know that 1, we need liquidity. 2, we need a fair value gap, and also does it offer 20 points for us to get into a trade. So one thing I would maybe notice as you guys look for this and actually backtest it is seeing how fast it will deliver within these time zones and how it plays around in these kill zones, because it's really crazy and fascinating on how fast and how much speed and how accurate and how well delivered it can get to your drop. So that's probably it for today, and hope you guys have a wonderful one. Peace.